Hey guys, I'm Little Artiman and welcome to my channel, and today we are going to talk a little bit about Halloween. And I apologize in advance if you can hear noise in the background, but it's raining a lot today. But let's just get started with the video. First things first, while I talk about this, I'm going to be drawing my Halloween costume for this year. You can try and guess in the comments what I'll be dressing up as, and the tip, it's not a specific character, it's a more general thing. But while you're watching that, let me tell you about my Halloween story. If you didn't know, I'm Portuguese and I've lived in Portugal my whole life, and here Halloween isn't really celebrated that much. It's starting to be more and more over the years, which is great in my opinion. And I first learned about Halloween in English class in primary school. In school, we start learning English on first grade when we are around 6 years old, but the first 3 years weren't really that enlightening to me. We learned to count to 12. I don't know why 12 in specific, but we just learned how to count to 12. We learned a few colors, animals, and the verb to be, of course. And it didn't sink in until later. I couldn't really speak English back then, but that doesn't matter now. It was in the fourth year that our teacher really wanted us to learn something, so that year for Halloween she prepared something for us. We were the older in school, very, very old at 9 years of age, and we learned a Halloween song and we were going to sing it to the teachers and to the preschoolers. And we had to dress up, of course, and that was when I started to really like Halloween because it was scary and I got to dress up. That year, my mom made me a Grim Reaper costume. I wore a regular black clothes and she made me a cloak that would go on top. It had a hood that covered half my face and an elastic at the waist so that it wouldn't touch the floor. The fabric she used was really, really long, and so it prevented it from touching on the floor. And we also made the sight. I don't know if I'm pronouncing that right, but it's the Grim Reaper weapon. We made it with cardboard, a broomstick and aluminum foil to make it look like metal. And that was my first Halloween. The next year I just wore the same costume and I tried to go trick-or-treating in my street, but my neighbors are all very old basically and they didn't understand what was going on. Because it isn't a tradition here in Portugal, or it wasn't starting to be, but they didn't know what was going on, like why I was going to their house asking for like candy. But I didn't have any tricks that I would do if they didn't have anything to me. I just wanted to go and have fun. But they were still very nice. They gave me something that they had, so I wouldn't go empty-handed. Some gave me cookies that they had baked or they had bought. Some gave me cough drops, that's what they had, and I was happy with it. I'm not going to complain. Some of them just didn't have candy in their house. When I went to the bigger school, some of my friends would go trick-or-treating in the city and hang out. And in the city, there were more people that knew about Halloween, so they would actually get some candy. But I wasn't allowed to go, so I just stayed at home. Then on my teenage years, I discovered the amazing world of horror. And it was kind of cringe back then, I'm not gonna lie, it really was. But I started to really like all spooky things, and I would get really hyped on Halloween. I would still be at home, but I would watch a horror movie or read some good horror stories, and I would put on my Grim Reaper's costume on top of just my regular clothes because it's really comfy, it's very good. And it still fits, it's crazy. It was really long and baggy, and I was also a very tall kid. I grew a lot when I was younger, and then I stopped when I was around 15, so the costume just fits. It's a little shorter now, and I have to put the waistband a little lower so that it will go almost up to the floor, but it still fits perfectly. But anyway, a few years passed, and after a few bad Halloweens, COVID hit, and I just finished high school and was applying for college, and that year I just stayed at home and obviously watched some movies. The year after that, the situation with COVID was a better, and so I went to a friend's house. It was me, them, and another friend, and it was a sleepover. We ate together and we made jack-o'-lanterns. It was my first time and they were so cute, and it was also very fun to make. I really liked it. I'm going to put a picture on the screen of my jack-o'-lantern. It was so fun. I made it with two faces, one on each side, and one of them was super cute and the other one was a little bit spooky, but it was very fun to do. Then we watched a horror movie and just stayed up talking until we were all very sleepy. It was a really good Halloween, but I didn't dress up that year. I just stayed on my regular clothes. Then last year I went to a party that another one of my friends organized, and this time I dressed up all the way. I grabbed my Grim Reaper's clothes from the closet, I haven't worn it in a few years, and I did some makeup, I put on a nice outfit, I accessorized, I made a new site, and I went and I had fun. We played a few games, ate some food and watched a horror movie, and I did fall asleep while watching it close to the ending because I was very tired. But the movie was good, I was just very tired. But it was also a great year for Halloween. This year I'm still planning the day, but I already have my costume 70% done, and I watched a few horror movies already this month to get in the creepy vibes. And this year I'm not going to dress up as Grim Reaper, it's going to be something different, as you can see in the drawing that I'm making. Did you leave your guesses in the comments? Cool, because I'm going to tell you now what I'm going to dress up as, and this year I'm going to be a fairy. I'm still not sure on the makeup and on a few small accessories, but I'm really proud of how the wings are turning out. I made them of an old bed sheet that I cut and painted, or I am painting because it isn't still done, but it's almost done, and I'll attach it to my back or shoulders and wrists with some ribbons. That way when I lift up my arms, the wings show perfectly. I also have my boots and socks because every day it's getting colder. And no, I apparently can't keep a video without a good Omens reference. Was it even a good one? I don't know, but yeah, I'm still obsessed. Anyways, and if you want any Halloween movie suggestions, I can tell you some of my favorites. These aren't all of the movies that I liked, like horror movies that I liked, but it's a few that I think fit the vibe for Halloween, and I'll give you a little bit of a few different classes of movies, I guess, and you can see if you like any of those, and you can also tell me in the comments if you have any suggestions for movies that I should watch. First class, if you like cute and animated spookiness, I would recommend Coraline, a classic that traumatized me as a child, and I would also recommend Paranorman and Monster House. These are all cute, but can still make you a little scared the first time you watch it at least. If you want a funny horror movie, I would recommend the movie Freaky, or Megan, or Cabin in the Woods, or Krampus, or The Mortuary Collection, and of course, Ready or Not. This is a lot of movies, I know, you don't have to watch them all of course, but these are all movies that made me land a few jump scares, but I find them really funny and they won't keep you up at night afraid, you know. They are just funny horror movies that may have a few jump scares here and there, but overall they are very funny and aren't traumatizing, if that makes sense. Oh, and I have The Haunted House on my list. It came out like a month ago or something like that. It came out recently, but I haven't gotten to it yet. I'm still going to watch it, but I just haven't yet. But I think it still fits this category because I think it's very funny, but it's also kind of spooky. I don't know, I think it fits. If you want a movie that can make you feel a little scared, but not something super terrifying, I would suggest the It movies. I watched the recent ones and I like them, but they also didn't scare me that much that I couldn't sleep. And also Scary Stories to Tell in the Dark. It's a really good movie, I really like it. And Crawl, I don't know what year it came out, but these are all very recent movies, I think, and those were really good too. Ouija, Origin of Evil, and The Cleansing Hour are also very good scary movies, but they didn't lurk into my sleep to give me nightmares, if you know what I mean. But they are good though. And a few horror movies that made a deeper impact on me that actually scared me while watching were The Invisible Man from 2020. It's possibly my favorite horror movie, and it did scare me because of something that happened while I watched the movie, but by itself it's freaky, it's scary too. Like it's a very good movie and it's scary on a lot of different levels, but I really liked it. It's a good one. Another one that fits in this category is the movie Underwater, because it's about like the depths of the ocean, and that's something that really terrifies me, like in real life. I think the ocean is beautiful, like to look at from land, but the ocean is so scary. Like, I don't know what's there. I don't think anyone knows exactly what's there. It could be anything. It terrifies me, and this movie plays into that fear of being down there. And you know, it's scary, but it's a really good movie too. I could talk more about these movies if you want to, or another movies as well. Just tell me in the comments if you'd like that. And if you have any good suggestions too, I'm taking suggestions to my movie watching list. This week's video was a little shorter, but I've been working on some really cool stuff, I think, and that hopefully will come out soon. Hopefully I can finish in time, so don't miss the chance to subscribe. I promise there will be good things coming in the future. And thank you so much for watching, it means a lot to me. If you like this video, leave a like, comment what you'll be dressing up for Halloween, subscribe so you don't miss the next uploads. I'm trying to post every Wednesday, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye!